Okay, so today I am going to be reacting to another video. It's another patron request. So, I've heard a little bit of Colter Wall, and I've heard kind of some of the things that he's done, in the past and stuff like that. But I've never watched him. I've only heard some of the stuff that he's done. So, without further ado, I just want to say thank you so much to the person who requested this. You know who you are. You can always send requests down in the description down below, the comments, You can always put requests down there, but to ensure that your request gets heard, I encourage you to visit my Patreon page where you can put in a request, and that will for sure ensure that it gets done every single month. But if you just want to stick around and, check out the stuff that, that is just regular content, then I encourage you to hit the bell, subscribe, like this video, and keep in touch so that you can see all the stuff that I'm posting here, throughout time. But now, let's get into it. Colter Wall, Original 16, Brewery Sessions, Kate McCannon. This is cool. With all the beer cans in the back. That's rad.
Well, the raven is a wicked bird.
Wow.
His wings are black as sin.
That's crazy. That's a voice right there.
And he floats outside my prison window, mocking those within. And he sinks to me real low. It's hell to where you go. For you didn't murder Kate McCannon.
Love it.
When I first met Tom McCannon, I was working in the mines. Said he had himself a dark-haired daughter with long green eyes. And when she and I didn't meet, she was bathing in the creek. Prettiest girl in the whole damn holler, that ain't no lie.
I love the way this is shot, too, with all the different cameras set up everywhere. That's rad.
So I went a-courting Kate McCannon. Got me a job and I quit my rambling. Every day I'd save a quarter of my pay.
I think a lot of people, hold on, pause this. I think a lot of people would say like, oh, this guy sounds like Johnny Cash. I would argue that that's probably some of his inspirations for sure. But it's not like whenever you listen to Greta Van Fleet and you're like, oh, well, they're obviously trying to sound, or he's trying to sound like, Robert Plant. I don't think he's trying to sound like anybody. I don't think Colter Wall is trying to sound like Johnny Cash. I think that's just genuinely what Colter Wall sounds like. I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't know, just kind of hearing this, I don't really think of him in the same terms as like Johnny Cash, even though there is kind of a similar register there. But at the same time, I think it's fair to acknowledge that's definitely one of his inspirations. I mean, you can hear it, but I don't think he's trying to sound explicitly like Johnny Cash, if that makes sense. Because I've heard people make that comparison, and like I can see it. I don't think he's trying to do that.
Well, I could buy a diamond ring. Lord, and one day I come home to find my darling angel's not in sight. So I made for the creek, but she and I didn't meet. And I found her with some other lover. Then I put 3 rounds into Kate McCannon.
Wow. Freaking rad. I didn't know quite what to expect, from that video, but I really, really enjoyed it. I was doing some reading. I was like, sometimes newer artists will take older songs and like kind of do their own rendition of it. It's kind of funny that I was talking about Johnny Cash. Like the first thing that comes to mind is actually Johnny Cash. And whenever he did Hurt, and you're like, oh, well, Johnny Cash didn't write that song. It's a Nine Inch Nails song. I thought that Colter Wall might have taken that song from somewhere else and, maybe made it his own type thing, or maybe it was an old song from long ago. Nope, that's Colter Wall's song. He totally wrote it. But the fact that he can make it sound like it is from somebody else, or maybe that it's, been passed down from generation to generation, I think is super duper impressive. Was reading on it, looked like that song in particular had quite a bit of press surrounding it just because of the subject matter and then the music video for it. But the live performance, you can tell like he really believes the story that he is telling, and I think that's really pretty rare to see nowadays. And not only an artist, I feel like country artists and folk artists are more in touch with the stories that they are trying to really tell, and I feel like the ballad or the tale of trying to tell a story in a song is somewhat of a lost art because it's everything's so commercialized and so in your face. It seems like good music kind of gets not as much attention, even though this video had 14 million views. Seems like a lot of music doesn't quite get the attention that it deserves. I mean, I'm sure Colter Wall is doing fine for himself and all, but the fact that he's able to tell that story and make it feel so real, especially to someone who doesn't even really love country music that much. I don't know if you can consider this country actually. I don't know. Either way, it's just really impressive to me, and I really, really enjoyed it. If I had to give it a score, I'd totally give it like a 9 out of 10. I mean, pretty solid. I think there were some things a little bit off with the mix, but overall, I really enjoyed the performance. So thank you again for requesting this. I really, really appreciate it. Again, if you want to put something down in the comments down below of something you'd like to see me review, react to, whatever, I'd be happy to take a look at it. I can't promise anything. But if you go to the Patreon page and, subscribe for a month or whatever, and you want to see a reaction there, then, that would be amazing. But obviously, I'm just happy you're here watching this video. So thank you so much. And before I go, check this out. Whatever possessed you to check out the podcast or the YouTube channel today, I just want to say thank you so much for doing so. If this is your first time here, I would appreciate it, if you would consider subscribing. As you can tell, it's not just me here anymore. I mean, I do stuff by myself, but the podcast is going to reside here from now on, in video form. So if you want to see more content, if you want to be notified, every time we post something, whether it be a clip, a podcast, a review, an interview, whatever it may be, if it's gaming stuff, make sure you click that bell and hit the subscribe button, and we will see you next time. Thanks for sticking around, and thank you for preparing yourselves for a plethora of hot takes and potentially unpopular opinions. I'm Gabriel Fast. I will always be the wannabe critic.